everybody, it's DJ MV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
Now, people like to throw that term "whole legend" around,
but he a legend.
Yeah, there ain't too many whole legends out here in these streets. Okay,
Teddy Riley.
Yes.
Welcome, sir.
What's happening, man? How y'all doing?
How's everything?
Teddy, I don't even know where to begin with you, man. You produced everybody from Michael Jackson, Bobby Brown, Keith Sweat, Guy, just to name a few.
Jay-Z.
You're the architect of New Jack Swing. Where do you want to start?
It's wherever y'all want to start.
Start from the beginning. Start from the beginning. Now, you're from Harlem.
Yes, sir.
Born and raised. Let's talk about your start.
No, you wasn't born in Harlem, were you?
Yeah, I was born in Harlem.
Born in Harlem, okay.
In
okay,
Harlem
okay.
Hospital, but I'm NYVA.
And then he moved to the But let's start with Harlem.
You
NYVA.
from South Carolina a little bit too, but you know,
Yeah, my whole family's from
yes.
So we're
Charleston.
gonna
Very
claim him
little.
here in New
Very
York.
little. We're gonna start in
there you
Harlem.
go,
Yes.
Harlem.
Now, how'd you start producing? How'd you get into music?
Well, I'm from St. Nick Projects, and that's uptown where everybody just, New York never sleep. So I was always trying to do something with music when my father introduced these instruments to me: trumpet, piano, guitar, and I started at 3 years old. Went to the Apollo at 5. And what made me want to be in show business was when Gladys Knight picked me up on the stage, singing "Neither One of Us." And
You was in the crowd?
yeah, I was actually in the front seat with my babysitters, and I wanted to go so bad. I was sick this day, and I had the flu. But when you want to go somewhere, everything is gone.
Right.
I'm not sick no more. I just want to go. So I went because I wanted to see her. And being that I went to the school across the street from the Apollo, the back stage, Harriet Tubman Elementary School, I never played with the kids. I was always at the fence looking at who's coming in. And I seen James Brown,
The back
I
of the
seen
fence.
Al Green.
Wow.
I seen like the legends, and I knew who they were because my mom and my dad used to play nothing but James Brown, Al Green. They'd take us down south and just leave us. And, we would, they would say they're going to a club and they go back to New York and leave us down south.
For the summer.
For the summer.
Right, yep.
So I had the experience of being in the South the whole summer for like almost 15 years. So what made me get into music, because the South, there are a lot of talented people there. And I realized that back in the day when I wanted to get into music, I was 14, 15 years old, nobody wasn't doing music. Everybody was wrestling, playing football.
Selling drugs.
It was just tough.
It was hard.
Oh, no. Back then, it wasn't none of that. Am I right or wrong?
You right.
I mean,
South
the
Carolina,
South,
right,
the
right.
South
Yeah.
changed
Yeah.
a lot. Like, they just got hooked on to, like, the drugs
Yeah,
and big time. And,
Probably like late 80s, early 90s.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now in
So-
Harlem, it was different though. There was a lot of drug dealers. That was when Harlem was in its prime, where people were selling drugs. People were dressing
It
right.
was flashy.
That's where I'm from.
flashy as hell.
Yes. Harlem, everything went down. You walk out of your building and see somebody dead. And that's almost at least once a week, twice a week. And with that being said, I was in a home of my mom and my dad, and it was a lot of domestic violence. And that's the reason why my mom is with me today. She lives with me. I would never leave her out of my sight because she supported me through everything. My father kind of fell out of it, and I guess because, he's a hustler. So when it happened, I just kind of continued music, but I was hustling as well. And when I did that, I guess I wanted to get a confirmation from God to know, is this my place? And I got that confirmation.
What was the confirmation?
I was at the 23rd precinct, sitting in a chair explaining to a cop what I want to be, because he's like, "You 15. What are you doing here? What is it that you want to be in life?" And I told him, I said, "I want to be a star." And he said, "Well, you're not going to be a star in here because you're about to go to central booking."
What'd you get picked up for? You had drugs on you?
Yes. A lot of substance.
Yeah.
Actually, I had the chemicals.
To make it?
Yeah.
Got you.
So I was more of the not outside. I was more of the guy who delivered.
Gotcha.
And
Are you saying you know how to cook crack, Teddy Riley?
no, it's not crack.
Coke? What was it back
PCP.
then? PCP? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Angel Dust. I was with a crew called Shack Crew. And they kind of brought me up. You know, I didn't really have like a father figure when my father left.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really have a big brother because I was the big brother. You know, my brother in Rex and Effect, Markel, you know. That it was just us. You know, him and I, we just kind of stuck it out. Like, we never had a fight or an argument ever in our lives. So he's been always my confidant. And every record that I made, he's the one that A&R'd and told me it was a hit.
Wow.
Yeah, he's the one that kind of gave me, you know, because I was just a music maker. I wasn't a visionary like Pharrell, my brother, and Diddy. You know, I was the one that just made the music. And
So you was cooking the music up too.
what's that?
Yeah.
Yes,
Kind of like
yes.
the Angel Dust.
But you
So who
created the
encouraged-
sound, though. It
But
wasn't.
before that, who encouraged you to get into music then? Because I mean, you say you was 15, you was running the streets. At
When
what
I was
point?
small, I wanted to be in music since I was 5.
No, but at what point did somebody grab you around the neck and say, "No, you are going to be a producer"? When did you start taking it serious?
Oh, I did it myself. I took it serious after my bus.
So around 15, 16.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I joined a band. And that band is called Total Climax. And then we developed Kids at Work. So when we developed Kids at Work, I was in both bands. So that's been my thing since I started, was being in different bands because I'm a team player.
Were you
So-
making money?
Huh?
Were you making money at that time?
Oh yeah.
From the band?
At
'Cause I know that's
15,
hard to
we
be-
played like Celebrity Club. We played Ponderosa. We played Jock's Place and Trebekers. And we were the local band. And there was another band, Keith Sweat's band, called Jamila. And then Johnny Kemp's band called Kinky Fox. We were rivalries. So they would hit a club, go to another club, we would hit that club. And that's, you know, we made $100 was a lot of money.
It was a lot of, it was a lot.
okay.
That was a lot of money.
So fresh
So-
out of jail, you just started asking around.
I never went to jail.
Fresh out of bookings.
bookings.
Yeah.
You just went around Harlem like, I want to join the band.
Yeah, no, I went with my Casio.
Okay.
I had my little Casio in my hand, taking it everywhere, showing people I know how to play. And then I went down to this basement where there was a band there, and they were older. And I said, man, I just want somebody to see, you know, check me out and see if I can play. And I was a guy by the name, my guitar player, Jerome Dickens. He said, man, shorty, if you don't know how to play, we're going to take your Casio. So when he said that, I just said, you know what? You only live once, and this is the chance. So I took the Harlem Boys' chance. And they said, well, I'm gonna play. I said, I'm gonna play my Casio. They were like, no, give us the Casio. You're gonna play this. And they had a Fender Rhodes, which was the heavy keys.
Right.
So I'm this 15-year-old with little fingers trying to play. So I just said, you know what? I'm gonna play with 2 hands. And the song was Reasons. And they're a top 40 band. So the song was Reasons. And
Right,
The reason.
yeah.
All right, Charlamagne, we get it. We got it. We understand.
Give us your Casio,
So
Charlamagne.
they started the song, and I actually played. And Jerome was the guy that said, yo, shorty, nice. And that's how I got to join the band.
Were you self-taught or you took lessons? You taught yourself. You know how to play by ear?
Yes.
Wow.
What other instruments you play? Keyboard? You say you played the...
Keyboards, all percussions, and I played trumpet. And I played different instruments, but I stuck with keyboards. Why? Because with keyboards, you can actually make anything.
How did you create the sound? Because you have a different sound than was in the industry at that time. How did you create that sound?
The whole genre, the New Jack Swing.
Well, I used to have dreams, and my dreams were, I wanted to see Michael Jackson and Prince together. I wanted to see James Brown and Al Green make a record. I wanted to mix it up. It's like the same old thing. And I said, you know what? Since I can't do it that way, and I can't see, you know, we can't get what we want every time we ask for
Almost
it.
had Michael Jackson and
Right.
Prince, but that didn't work
Almost.
out.
They were good friends, and you know that's a story within itself, man. Because when Michael passed, Prince was very concerned, and he reached out to a lot of people before, like what happened to Michael, and that shows you right there, that they were really close.
Right.
So let's go back to
Creating that sound.
creating that sound.
Yes.
I wanted to mix everything up, and being that I couldn't get what I want, I did it in the music. So I put gospel with blues, with fusion, with EDM, and mixed it all up like gumbo. And I didn't know what the name. I didn't have a name for it. I just did it. You don't really have a name until it becomes famous.
Right. And then people will name it for
Like,
you.
yeah, the music have to become the star, and until the music become the star, then you are.
Who was the
I feel
first
like
artist
we're
to believe?
I feel like we're jumping something though. Like when did you first get into production though? You went from the band.
When I was with the band,
Okay.
there was my mentor. His name is Royal Band. He's the cousin of Kool and the Gang. And he used to always take me to the studios to meet like Kashif, M2May, and all of the producers of that time, Patrick Adams and Fred McFarlane, who made Somebody Else's Guy. These are all producers that just embraced me and took me under their wings, and that's how I kind of just watched everybody. And I was an assistant in the studio, and I was young, so I just wanted to go give it, just to know what all of those buttons do. I went to the store, I got the tea, so I was the guy, the running, like
Running
I
guy.
ran.
Paying your dues.
The runners.
Yeah.
And that's humble. A lot of people don't want to do that. And it's also important that you knew a lot about the music that came before you. Because I think sometimes people, even, nowadays they make music, but they don't know a lot about the music that came before them. And you knew a lot about, like you said, Al Green, you knew about James Brown and all of those artists, working with M2May and Kool and the Gang. And I think that makes music better when you actually can study it and take your own parts of that and make it yours.
That's true.
Well-
But I'll tell you this, and you should know, because you know all the records. Classical 2 was my first record. Rap's New Generation.
That's the first beat you did.
Yeah.
Classical too. Okay.
And did you hear that? You know the influence, right?
What's the influence?
James Brown.
Oh yeah, of course.
So that tells you that I just wanted a piece of everybody
Right.
in my music, and it just came out great. I could never tell anybody, oh, it's a hit. I just made the music.
Right.
Would your first record be considered a New Jack Swing record?
Of course.
Okay. So who
Yes.
should get I'm trying to figure out who should get the proper credit for New Jack Swing, you or Andre Harrell?
Wow. That's wow.
I'm just asking the question.
Well, it should definitely be me.
Okay.
Now,
But was your
Andre
first record- was
Harrell
that
is a
New Jack
part
Swing, though?
of discovering me.
Right.
So when you got the person who discovered you, that makes him responsible.
But you made the
But
music.
I'm 24 hours in the studio. I'm the one who,
Creating the sound.
he's the button pusher. He's the one that made, that's how, and he's a visionary. I can't take that away from him.
So you did Wild Wild West though.
Yes, sir.
That wasn't New Jack Swing though. That was
Wow, West.
Well, it was New Jack Swing. You know why?
why.
New Jack Swing is so many styles and ways of doing New Jack Swing. If you have singing and rapping on a record, you're doing New Jack Swing. This is music technology. So all of the rappers that can sing it on their records, they're doing New Jack Swing, whether they know it or not, because we started it. Myself, Molly Ma, with Round Away Girl.
Right.
So if you take it back to those times where you had Premier and all these people, they had singing on the records after me. So that's how you have to say today, New Jack Swing is in all the churches, all of the musicians,
All of Bruno Mars music.
you can say.
Yeah, right.
You said that.
You know that
But
though. He pays homage.
Yes, he did.
pays
He
homage.
did. He did, and he truly did. In fact, I protected him because they tried to put me in a trick bag with questions of, they said his music, he was like, they were like saying he's a carbon copy, and he's not. He's just doing New Jack Swing his way. You know what I'm saying? It's not particularly my way or Dougie's way, and that's if you want to say anybody, it would be Dougie Fresh. We went to the same high school, and that's how we came up with the show. And that's where you heard like the swing, the New Jack Swing.
I forgot. You produced the show, did you?
Yes,
Why the
never
hell I
knew
forgot that? I didn't know that. I don't think I know that. I didn't know you produced the show.
I'm a part of it, big
And that
time.
was
In
pretty
fact, I had the drum machine
Wow.
to change the doggone sounds and tune down the shakers and all of that stuff. Nobody knew about that when you have like a Oberheim and you don't know what to do. You're just playing the drum sounds, the stock stuff. I used to go in stuff and just change it, just so it could sound, it could have my sound.
Right.
Right.
You know, so
Stamp it.
that's what I did with the Oberheim, was develop my sound, because it was the only drum machine I had.
Now, was there any other producers on the record? Because I don't want them to watch this and be like, I produced the show, not just Teddy.
No, you have Chill Will. In fact, it's a collective thing.
Okay.
You know, it was all started by Dougie.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Dougie came to me with the idea and everything on tape, and I was like, well, this is what you should do with it. This is how you should go. This is the direction you should do. And I said, okay, you need something to keep people going. If you're going to have these commercials, you need something to keep the people dancing.
Mhm.
So I said, you should try this. Shh, 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 shh. So you were still dancing,
Mhm.
even though you heard, hello,
Talking, right.
you know, and you heard all of the breakdowns.
Got you.
So that's what New Jack Swing is about. It kept people dancing. So if you listen to like Jane Child, Don't Wanna Fall in Love,
Mhm.
or listen to Keep It in the Closet, they had a breakdown,
Mm.
but you still had a rhythm in there so people could still
Yeah,
go. And that's what Rooftop, Palladium,
Mhm.
who else? The Palladium, Bentleys.
Bentleys, Cheetahs.
Anybody know about Bentleys?
Yeah,
Yes.
Bentleys, Cheetahs.
Okay, so let me take you even further back.
Let's go.
Because this is something I really want people to know, is I am from Harlem.
Mhm.
I was born in Harlem Hospital,
Mhm.
and I am the true Harlem World. And why I say that is because people claim the name and say, you know, I'm Harlem World, and they're not from Harlem. You know what I'm saying? So I claim the name because I'm a true Harlem kid. And this music came from Harlem. Everybody who came after just did their own thing and clamped onto the sound.
Mhm.
So when I say I'm Harlem World, I've been to Harlem World. I was there when Busy Bee and Kumo D was battling. That was the first time I met Kumo D. And then he just took a liking to me and just came up to Rooftop and said, you know, what could y'all do for me? And we said, yo, we make your record. I got a couple of beats here. And he was just, it was it for him. And he signed to Rooftop Records, our label.
How did Andre Harrell discover you? How did that happen?
Andre Harrell came uptown. You understand? Uptown. Before Andre Harrell came uptown, when he came uptown, it wasn't called Uptown. But when he came uptown, he named it Uptown because it is uptown music. It is Harlem music.
Mm.
So Andre Harrell, he seen something in us, and he wanted to partner with my partners. And I was just supposed to be the producer. You know, I don't think they wanted me to be a partner. And that's what he told my partner, Gusto, who owned the Rooftop. So we didn't wind up doing the deal. Andre Harrell went and did the deal with MCA, and when that happened, I wanted to do a deal. So I went back when Timmy Gatlin brought Aaron Hall to the studio.
The legend, Aaron Hall.
Yeah, the legend. But when he brought him to the studio, it was supposed to be them two, like Casey and JoJo. And Aaron was like, nah, this can't happen. I'd rather go solo if he can't be in the group. And that's how I joined the group.
Guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we are God.
And then you a guy.
So, and that was even more, but my first R&B New Jack Swing record is Keith Sweat.
Make it last forever.
The whole Make It Last Forever album.
The whole album.
You know, I want to talk about Keith, man, because one thing people don't realize is even though y'all was R&B artists, y'all was gangsters. It was drama. It was hell up in Harlem.
Yeah, Keith-
okay.
I can't wait till y'all see my film, because Keith and I,
Had a
we're
beef.
partners today. No, we never had a beef.
A little one over the Johnny Kemp record.
Which one?
Didn't he give
No.
you did Johnny Kemp's record, right?
Yeah, just got paid.
And Keith wrote it, but that was supposed to be Keith's record or something like that.
Oh, no. We had to give it to him because it was too late. It was too late
Break it
because his
down for
album
me.
was already mastered.
Okay.
So he wanted to put it on the album because I had came up with that like late. Like we were already finished. And when I came up with it, he came over to the house in the projects and he said, man, I got the hook for it. I got this, and check this out. Just got paid Friday night.
Hey.
Because he wanted it for himself.
Right.
But it was too late. Vincent Perez, Vintertainment, said that it's too late. We can't go with this record. Y'all go ahead and give it to somebody else. So Johnny Kemp happened to come and said, you know, I need a record. His company. And
Boy,
I just
was
said,
that a
well,
record.
we got a record. I'm going to call Keith. I called Keith. I said, can we give him this record? He said, let's go. And he got his credits and everything.
No
It was
beef.
no, it was no beef.
Yeah, I think I heard that you gave Johnny the record and Keith didn't know you had gave him the record.
That's true.
Okay.
But I gave him his credit. You know, we're partners today.
But this was
you
after
know.
guns were drawn and all kind of stuff.
No,
like
no
it
gun.
wasn't-
Why are you trying to make a
I'm just saying what the streets told me. And I was like, what? Really?
Nah, you know, the streets it's
Yeah.
twisted. You know,
But
we
y'all
never
good now,
have.
though.
We're
Good.
great.
More than good.
You know, we're great. That's
Now-
my big brother, man.
Now, how did Bobby Brown? Now, we seen the Bobby Brown story. Now, is there any truth to Bobby Brown hearing the music and was like, I need to work with Teddy, and him coming to Harlem to work with you, and you creating his sound?
It's more to the story.
Mhm.
It's so much more to the story. But I'm cool with it because it happened.
Mhm.
You know, our story need to be told. You know, you have legends and people who just go. They go away, they finish, and they just don't want to do no more. But when your story is told, you know, however it's told, you know, my story will be the truth. Everything about it. Because I lived in drama. I lived in drama. Every second it was drama, you know. If I didn't have it outside, I had it in the home. So
What happened with Bobby? Tell
Yeah, how
us.
deep did your relationship go with Bobby?
let me just give you a scenario. Do you remember the scene where he got off the bus? When he got off the bus, he was thinking that everybody wanted to kill him or he was paranoid.
Right.
There
Oh, when
was
you ran into the house, when you ran into the white guy house, he pulled out the shotgun. Yeah, okay.
that actually didn't happen. Bobby, and I don't know if he could remember this, but I have 20 other people who were there. And we were in Chicago. Bobby took a cab from the bus, met up with my band members, told my band members, Joe Haywood, that I'm looking for Teddy. I need him right now. He was paranoid. He had a knot, like 2 knots in his pocket. And all he wanted to do was see me.
Mhm.
Like Bobby and I, we are close.
Mhm.
And just to show you, everybody knew how close we were because when I hid him in my room and let him sleep, mind you, I used to sell the stuff he took. So I knew how to get it off of him. It's PCP. All you have to do is drink milk.
Mhm.
Bobby was on PCP? I thought he was on coke.
He was on everything.
Oh. Okay.
But
so milk calms
He
PCP
came
down.
to me. He said, yo, give me a room. He started giving me, I said, no, I'm going to put you in my suite and you'll be there. You'll be safe. We went to sound check and I get a call from Suge's brother, Suge Knight's brother, Wes.
Mhm.
And Wes said, what's up, little man? I hear Bobby disappeared to somebody close. And only person I know that's close to him on this tour is you. And I said, Wes, come to the hotel. Come to the hotel. I can't tell you nothing. Just come to the hotel. He came to the hotel and my guys took him to, you remember Sifu?
Mm-hmm.
All my guys, they took Wes to Bobby.
Mhm.
Bobby was sound asleep. By the time he got up, he was ready to do the show because the milk helped.
Mm.
So that's the part he should have shown, or they could have, shown, instead of, certain things that I felt like the Janet situation, that's like my little sister.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Related through Michael, and we worked on songs together, and I just felt like, that could have been taken out, But I heard yesterday from BT that a lot was taken out of that situation, so I was happy about that.
You looked in the movie. You looked genuinely shocked when you saw Bobby and Whitney together on a date. Did that really happen?
Oh, let me check this out. I was the one that tried to talk Bobby out of the wedding.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Well, I don't dislike Whitney.
Mm-hmm.
She's a beautiful person. But I told him, I said, man, you want me to work on this second album? I got most of the songs. And you're going to get married? He's like, yeah, man, I think this is the best thing for me. I said, I'm going to give you some analogies. And I'm just being real. No disrespect to anybody I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
But I said, when Lionel Richie got married, and there was posters all over the place where his record sales went.
Down.
Thank you. And then Babyface, after Guilty, when he got married. So you gotta look at the stats and be like, Dad, do I want to follow that?
Mm-hmm.
At the time, you wanted to be a sex
symbol. Single sex symbol. Make
Yeah,
girls think
and,
they can have you.
and all his fans were mostly women.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to try to talk him out of it. And then he's like, nah, and you gonna be there too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do this, man. And I want you there. I said, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there anyway. And I wound up getting there, and he was in the room.
He was in the bathroom. Wouldn't come out.
Wouldn't come out.
And was that your assistant?
Who?
The one that
Alicia.
went and talked to him, Alicia, that went and
They said that was your girlfriend.
Or was that your girlfriend?
Yeah, I mean, we were seeing each other. In fact, she's the one that's on Rum Shaker playing the saxophone.
Ah.
My good friend today,
Mhm.
you know.
But you couldn't
Alicia's,
marry her back then because it wasn't a good idea to get married.
Who?
If you you giving advice to Bobby not to get married, would you have followed that advice too? Like, I can't
did.
get married either,
I did.
even if you were in love.
I'm not married today.
God damn, Teddy.
Teddy gonna take it to the grave.
Hold on, I
all
want
right.
to get back. So
I'm not taking it to the grave. I feel like God have a plan for me, and that's focus. I have a mission, and that mission is to get my film company
Mhm.
out there with New Jack Swing, New Jack City, Rooftop with my partner, Gus, and so many other movies we have that's important to our people.
damn right.
The real Martin Luther King film, where a lot of people don't know that Martin Luther King was stabbed by a black woman
Mm-hmm.
at the Teresa Hotel,
Mm-hmm.
and they hid it. It was hidden because he was there. Well, this was a lady that was, I think, planted. We have all of the footage from everything.
Mhm.
And it's my team, my company. And then we also have the
Even
film where
his mother being shot and killed.
Mhm.
People don't talk about that.
they don't. Also, they didn't talk about the real reason why he got killed was
The poor man's march.
Hmm?
The poor man's march he was trying to
Poor Man
do.
March and
Yeah.
the Union.
The union?
It was two sanitation guys. I'll show it to you.
Mhm.
Two sanitation guys that needed Mr. King, Dr. King, to help them fight for civil rights. You know, where for the Union, because back then we didn't get a fair shake. So this movie explains exactly what happened and why he was killed, because he was about to do that march. And I think, you know, per what they told me was the legislation was going to be changed to us having equal rights.
Mhm.
And I think that's
Well, Martin started
That's why.
fucking with the money. Like, you can march for civil rights all you want, but when you start, talking about money and helping the poor and disenfranchised get rich
Mhm.
or just be middle class, no, they're not having that.
that's true. But you don't think we deserve it?
Of course, 100%, 100%.
So that's what we got to do, is fight for everybody to be equal.
Right.
And that's what he did. And that was the reason.
Oh,
You know,
let's
we
go.
have,
Let's go back to the. Let's
yeah,
go
the
back
Bobby,
to the.
Bobby
yeah,
Wood
let's go.
thing.
to the
We can go
bathroom.
back.
Yeah, let's go back to the bathroom.
Do
We
you
can
think
go back to wherever y'all want to go.
Do you think the marriage hurt Bobby after giving him that advice?
Of course.
Really?
Yeah. You don't see him now? I think that if they wouldn't have got married, do you think Whitney would still be here?
Well, according to the movie, Whitney had the problem, not Bobby.
But still,
Yeah, yeah.
We don't know.
whether she's here or not, you know, that would have been her thing. But Bobby would have been still doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? Even though he did, but he would have been even bigger.
What
The
about
album would have sold more than 2 million copies, or
Was that
2
story
or 3
true, though?
million copies.
Was he stuck in the bathroom and she got him out? And
Yeah. In fact,
she was at
I
your, she was your
wasn't
girl
in
at
that
time?
area where he was at in the bathroom. I was actually in the congregation and waiting for him to come and take his spot. And when he did that, you know, my whole thing was, he's okay.
Was she a girl at the time when she went and got him out?
No, we wasn't together. In fact, Alicia and I really didn't. It was like puppy love.
Oh, okay.
So y'all just probably
It
smashing
was like,
or
you know,
something.
young. We hung out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Such a beautiful person, and everyone, you know, loves Alicia.
So it wasn't
know.
one of those things where Bobby had to call you and be like, yo, I'm really in love with her. I want to
No,
Gotcha,
me and
gotcha.
Bobby, we're cool, and me and Alicia are cool. You know, like brothers and sisters now.
Gotcha.
You know,
what about Jay-Z and Beyonce? Don't you think that marriage is beneficial?
no, that was special.
Mm-hmm.
That was one that was meant to be because we're in the new millennium.
Right.
So today,
New millennium,
that
you can get
doesn't-
married, you do
Yeah,
everything you want. You gonna sell records because
Bobby
they
was
love
young.
you. They love your music.
Yeah, but
And
back then
everybody
you hid your
loves Jay's
family, you
music,
hid
so
your
it didn't
spouse.
matter whether you got married or, you know, whether Beyonce got married.
So you could get married
See,
now. and
no,
make
let me
these
say
movies.
this. Also, if a woman get married, she gonna still sell records. But it's the only thing is the guys. Guy get married, all the women lose the hope of getting close to, you know, folks. You know, the star.
Do you think Jay-Z's a star now?
Come on, man.
Listen,
Jay-Z's beyond
about
star.
15 years ago, we had a conversation. You remember that conversation we had in L.A.? Long time. It was like a long time ago. We was at dinner. And you said, no tall people can be stars.
Oh no, I was wait. Wait. Back
said,
then,
no tall people can be stars.
wait. Back then, I was insinuating about this is how we do it.
Montel Jordan.
Yeah,
Yes.
my boy. And I thought he was just too tall. And then I didn't originally said that. You know who said it? Sylvia Rome. Because
told
when
me
I
that?
came,
You said that?
Yeah, I did.
Yep.
And I came with a group, Mucho and my guys, 911. And I took it to Sylvia, and she was like, they too tall.
He too tall.
That's crazy.
They too tall. Get me some guys your height.
That's
I was
funny.
like, wow. Is it that she don't want to sign them, or but she meant what she said?
I thought
Because I started naming
Tall
people.
artists,
I was like,
but
Snoop, Jay.
Wait. Snoop, Jay, they're exceptions.
You said that.
They've
back
been
then.
stars before they were stars.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're household names. So you can't put them in that, you know, in that category. But yeah.
But most short people are stars, though. And you think.
Oh my God. Y'all just saying that
I mean,
because
even
y'all
15,
short.
15 years
Yeah,
later,
absolutely.
you a star.
I guess. I don't know.
You are.
Oh, thank you.
What got you to Virginia? What made you move to Virginia?
I
757.
like that question. What made me come to Virginia was I used to hang out with my crew from Martin Luther King High School, and that is Alpo, Rich Porter, AZ, and my whole crew, Black, Guy, Coolidge, Slick Rick, the street Slick Rick, and we used to take trips to Virginia.
Because things went for
4th of July
we found out things
weekend.
went for 20
Exactly.
Things went for 20
But until, you know, the skinheads, you know, kind of ran everybody to their homes.
Right.
But we used to go there, and I used to go there with all of my hustling friends, and we used to have a great time. And I had said to, I mean, if y'all remember the Guy record, Spend the Night, Donna was my fiance. You remember? She was my fiance at the time, and I said to her, I said, you know, this is where I would move if I move out of New York. Reason why, because there was no music scene. I always like to go places like Vegas. No music scene. I can go there and do everything. And the city, they're supporting me. So I did that with Virginia. And you see, I was with the mayor. Mayor came to my Christmas parties. And, you know, it was just like, hey, this is special. And then discovering Pharrell and Rodney Jerkins coming to Virginia, and for his birthday, all he wanted to do was meet me. And he got to meet me. He actually got with my cook, and my cook brought him in, and I started hearing his music. I said, wow, I want to take you to meet Michael Jackson.
You brought Michael Jackson to Virginia, which was crazy.
I sure did. But
in a lot of ways, you're responsible for the Virginia sound because you
Absolutely.
influenced Pharrell so heavily, and I'm sure Pharrell influenced the Timberlands of the world. Like, you know what I mean? Like Missy, all of them. In a way, you kind of sparked that.
I have to say this. I sparked it. But Pharrell was the guy who had the vision. And when he came and said, man, I think the rap is not commercial enough. It's not capturing. I don't think it's capturing. Let me do something for you. And he went and wrote my rap for Rum Shaker.
Wow.
And that's what, made me come up with have a hit.
Mm-hmm.
Who wrote All I Want to Do Is Zoom, 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 Zoom,
Nah, I
and a
wrote
boom,
that.
boom.
I write all the hooks. But I have to say this, I'm always just being 100. I took that hook from somewhere.
Where'd you take it from?
Was the he's one of the writers, of my rap that I can. So I can the rap, but all I want to do is zoom, zoom, zoom. It was in my rap. So I snatched it out and put that as the hook.
That's a bar.
And you remember the record? Oh, no, no, super cat, no, 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 da, da, da. You remember I took that too. I said, this is Virginia right here. I'm taking this. Bam. So I took the and I put the saxophone on top of it. I actually thought it was this is going to trip y'all, but I actually thought it was Public Enemy song. So I was like, wow, we cool. I ain't clearing this. Got hit with a $2 million, $2 million lawsuit.
Whose song was it?
It was a French band.
Wow.
And I didn't know nothing about no damn French band. And then I listened to the whole music and I hear this, and you hear these drums just boom, 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 boom. That was the record after. It's just like No Diggity. It's only one bar. The rest of it is for the older folks.
Right.
It's crazy Dr. Dre gets so much credit for that record. Like, if you didn't know any better, you would think Dr. Dre produced that record.
You would, but, listen, the record was a special record for us. And I'm really grateful that, Dre, called and said, yo, tell Teddy, when you do the video for this, I want to be in it. And it was my chance to say no, because we got to know when we tried to get Snoop Dogg from Suge. So I was like, nah, tell him if you're going to do something on this, you got to give me 16. Like, he turned in that 16 the same day.
Wow.
Through what ISDN, because, we didn't have internet back then.
Right.
We had ISDN, and he sent it ISDN style. And
why was Suge so involved in everybody's situation back then, especially in like that whole Uptown thing? I mean, you hear the stories about him and Andre Harrell and him making Andre drink urine, and like you talked about, you mentioned him a couple times. Why? Why was he so involved?
Well, everybody knows how Suge is, and beyond that, I tried to help Suge while he was in jail, just to get him a doctor. That's all I did, was I gave money so that he can have his doctor in the jail. And then I opt out, because I never want to be put or be scrutinized for doing something or helping someone, especially someone that's against my people, like Jimmy Iovine and Dr. Dre, and those are still my people. I was label mates and I was a partner with Jimmy, so all I did was help him get a doctor, and I opt out and just never turn back. But Suge and I had a little small situation where when we put out, he came to the studio, Michael Jackson's studio, Hit Factory, here. And he said, "Little man, I need to talk to you." And he came in the room, we had the penthouse. So came up there and my guys were there, so I was not worried. But we talked alone, and he said, "Little man, I really want to tell you some things." And, he started out by saying, "Man, I can get Jimmy Iovine to put $2 million on your table tomorrow." And so he started throwing money things at me. And I said to him, I said, I can get Jimmy Iovine to put $2 million on the table for me as well. But I would never do that because I work for mine. And I got what belongs to me, and Jimmy's got his thing. I would never go to Jimmy and say, Jimmy, give me $2 million. No. So we went in deep into it. He said, well, if you can't beat him, join him. I said, what you mean by that? He said, man, Death Row, little man, we'll be able to run into scope. So I called Jimmy because he then put out the record, the Tupac record, Toss It Up. And that was to get back at me. You know what I'm saying?
Why?
And,
Why was that to get back at you?
Why?
because I didn't take his offer to be a part of Death Row. You know,
Well, I don't know, was it this record deal or something?
yeah, the Toss It Up record came on. Aaron Hall was on there,
okay.
and Joe to C, Casey and
Gotcha.
JoJo and Danny Boy and all of them, and you know, Aaron said something. It was just mixed up, but you know, I kept it moving. I called Jimmy. He said, "Man, don't worry about this."
Why did God break up?
God broke up because my best friend was killed in the situation we had with New Edition and Guy back in 1989, I think 89, 90. It started in North Carolina, and it was a situation where New Edition walked on our stage while we were singing Peace of My Love.
What you mean, just walked on like
They
you
just
taking
walked
over?
on. We didn't know what was going on.
Right.
So when they walked on the stage, we were just dumbfounded, you know, and all we heard was like, yo, don't hold me back. Yo, what's up, Ted? Now that happened, it started from there and it went to Pittsburgh.
Y'all let Beantown press you?
What's that?
Y'all let Boston press you?
No.
Would you let him explain that story?
It was no real beef with the actual principals. It was the back line. One of my guys kicked their road manager, or not road manager, but the tech guy, kicked him 10 feet off the stage.
Whoa.
And why he did it, because that day, that particular day, New Edition was supposed to go on before us, but they were late. And when they showed up late, they wanted to get dressed and, you know, do their thing. And they had to take, well, Al Heyman and Gene, you know, kind of decided, like, certain cities, New Edition go first. Certain cities, Guy go first.
Right.
So that was the day that New Edition was supposed to go first. When all this happened, it continued in Pittsburgh. And when we drove into Pittsburgh with my bus, it was all on the news. A guy by the name of Anthony B. from New York's, you know, Harlem, New York, dies, and he got shot in the revolving door of the Marriott Hotel. And the guy that shot him was a pro because he didn't miss not one shot.
How many times did he shoot?
4 times through the heart, through the back. And I think it was 4, I don't know exact, but it took him out right away. And this guy, my best friend, he was my confidant. Like, he did everything. He was the big homie. He was the one that kept me off the streets after I got busted. And he was the one, like, we would be at Bentley's, Palladium, you know, all of the clubs. And he was just my guy because, you know, he's like my manager out there. You know, and he just wanted to get out of the streets. And I was the guy to help him. He had groups, he wanted to get in the music business. I said, this is good. I want to do it. I'm gonna help you. Whatever you need, because he helped me.
Right.
Bought me keyboards. If I needed something, he'd buy it. And it wouldn't even tell me, like, it'll just show up. So with someone like that I lost, I just said, you know, no one cares. But I do. I went to the funeral. Nobody came to the funeral.
Wow.
And Michael Jackson called. Everything happened at the same time. Michael Jackson calls. So I asked Q-Tip, could I use this room to make music for Michael? I didn't tell Michael I was quitting the group. We had a show at Madison Square Garden, and that was my last show with Guy, 1990.
Mhm.
And when I quit, that Saturday, it was Friday, I left the next day to go work with Michael.
So you quit because you felt like they weren't there for your man?
For him.
They wasn't there for me.
For you either, yeah. And they knew how much he meant to you. Wow. So New Edition, Guy beef led to somebody getting killed?
Hmm?
Would you say New Edition and Guy beef led to somebody getting killed?
It wasn't really a beef with us, though. But it was the
Gotcha.
organization.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. It got him, because what happened was somebody egged it on where my guy came from New York. My other brother came from D.C., and just everybody came from everywhere. And they went to the venue to fight New Edition's backline people, and it was a huge fight in the venue.
Mm.
Microphone stands going across people's heads and all of that. And we wasn't there then. We had just drove in. When we drove in, all we knew was my best friend was gone.
So before we get into Michael, how did you reconcile with the rest of the Guy?
With Aaron and Damien.
Yeah, Aaron and Damien.
This is like a love-hate relationship, you know. I really, really love those guys, man. And I'm very surprised of the things that have came across my table. And I'm really trying to work it out, because I feel it's important that people see Guy because of what we've done for the music.
Absolutely.
You know, we are the next Gap band, and we fit that description. Charlie and them was just like, wow, with the fringes and everything,
Right,
you know,
right.
they was just fly. And I always wanted us to be that. And I feel we're there. Like, we can have the Frankie Beverly spot if they could just change their ways.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying this nationally because I'm tired. I'm tired of being hated on in my home camp.
Is it because they brothers,
You know,
though?
and huh?
Is it because they brothers, so they kind of team up on you a little bit?
It's a majority rule thing. Right. So every time it's time to vote,
It's 2 versus 1 always, right? You're never going to win that one.
So, and I didn't mean to come here and talk about that, because, like I said, I have strong love for these guys. Like, I'm the one that came back
Right.
and really built it. It was only because Aaron came to Atlanta and he did my birthday party. He came and sung with me. I said, my whole dream for my birthday is I want Aaron Hall to come and sing, because I had a show opening up, a Teddy Riley and Friends show, opening up for Casey and JoJo.
Mm.
And I said, man, I'm gonna need my guns. I'm gonna need everything to just, I really want people to, like, I want them to learn their lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go on behind me.
Mm.
Because I'm gonna do everything in my powers to shut you down. It's just a friendly competition, and those are my boys. So I'm kind of like Buster. You know, I'm all for the friendly competitions, you know, because that's what it's about. You know, I always encourage, you know, with live shows, it used to always be a friendly battle. I seen Cameo, Heatwave, the Jacksons, Crown Heights Affair at Giant Stadium. When I seen that, I was like, wow, they battling. That's all I knew, is like the battle, the DJ, the cypher, the battle of the bands. And it trips me out when people doing tracks. Legends doing tracks. I encourage everybody, don't go to no doggone concert, to a legend concert, and they doing tracks. That's embarrassing. Tracks, it's like doing karaoke or something.
Right.
So I put that out there because we need bands back. We need live shows. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have a lot of people that are not getting work because we're not using bands. I've never did a track except for once when I did Ryan Cameron's birthday party last minute because DeBarge didn't show up. So that was the only time I did tracks, because I wanted to show up for my friend. You know, he's on my first album,
Right.
you know, so that's how friends do, you know, and it cost him nothing. I did it all myself. And I even asked Keith, yo, let's go help our boy.
What did you think of when R. Kelly came out, right? And he was
He stole
looking,
Aaron Hall's whole
sounded,
style.
everything like Aaron Hall. How were y'all feeling and thinking back then?
I didn't feel any type of way because I was making hits.
It was like public enough.
It was against Aaron.
Right.
That was his beef.
Right.
It wasn't mine.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he said you could be my teddy bear, it didn't matter
Aw.
because I'm still a fan of R. Kelly, you know. And I was a fan, you know, then, and I'm still a fan today. He's just a dope singer and he's an incredible Mozart. And I respect his craft.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everything else, I stay out of it.
Okay.
How
What
was
happened
it
with
going
Mike-
back on tour with Guy again when you guys linked back up and just were performing together? How did that go?
It went amazing some days.
Some days.
Then other days you were being hated on.
No, it wasn't that. It was just, I live this.
Mm.
So when I get on that stage, I'm living it. I'm gonna be everything, and I'm gonna give my all. And it's been certain days where we didn't give all
Right.
as a collective team. Because if one mess up, it's everybody.
Gotcha.
So we didn't give our all, especially when we was here. I don't know if y'all saw it.
Mm-mm.
Nah, I didn't get to come to that show.
Whoever came, they know what happened.
What happened?
We got here, started our program, the show, and we started, and it got to a certain song, and people didn't like it.
What song was it? Might as well tell us for the internet.
It was Aaron's song,
Okay.
and we
Don't Be
started
Afraid.
out. No,
I miss
other
you.
one. The other one. You just said it.
Okay.
I mean, when that happened, I was like, wow, I gotta figure it out. Stop the song, go to the jams. And everybody after the show said, I saved the show.
Mm.
I don't like that. I want them to say Guy. I want it to be about Guy, not about me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's about me for a certain reason because they went out by themselves without me.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we did shows and they didn't want me to perform those shows with them. And I said, cool, I'll just perform at Blackstreet and do what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Friendly competition. And I did what I did and you can read about it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just the thing, you know, I just think that we got to put our heads together. Right now, you know, we have to put our heads together on paper so that I'm assured that we're going to do this. It's got to be business.
Gotcha.
So Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
What was Michael Jackson really like?
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
A big brother, a teacher, mentor. He was just everything for me because I wanted to know everything about what he do and how he records. I wanted to go back to the traditional days of recording, and he showed me that in its rarest form. And I kind of stuck with him, you know. Every album, he would call me for the history album. I came and did what I had to do and go back, and anytime he called.
Did it feel weird having to critique him ever and be like, I don't know if this is it. Can you redo this part? Or
It was hard for 6 months,
Mm-hmm.
you know, until he just kind of pulled my coat and said, listen, if I'm singing off key, I want you to tell me. I want you to not be afraid to tell me I suck. And when he did that, you know, it gave me confidence. And then one time he pulled my coat and said, you know, why you don't talk about us? I said, what do you mean? He said, you could be doing promotion, you know, talk about us. I said, well, you had this big contract, non-disclosure,
right.
200 pages. I said, I'm not talking about you.
Mm-hmm.
And he started laughing and he said, you can. I want you to. I said, well, I don't even know if I'm going to make the album. He said, let me show you something. He started laughing again. Let me show you something. He showed me the masterboard with all the songs. He said, the closest ones to the top are the ones that will make the album, are the ones that I love. And it was, remember the time, Keep It in the Closet, Black and White, She Drives Me Wild, all these songs of mine. I couldn't wait to go and call my brother.
Teddy Riley did remember the
I couldn't wait to
times, right?
call my brother and say, yo, we made it. You know, my brother is that's my heart, man. You know, you don't find brothers that don't have fights.
Right.
We never had a fight. We never even had any hateful words against each other. And that's how brothers are supposed to be. I'm his brother keeper. I fought for him and he fought for me.
How did
You
get
act very nonchalant with that Michael Jackson phone call, though.
Yeah.
When he first called you, you acted.
I'm not nonchalant. I could tell you the whole call, but I don't know if I have enough time.
Yeah.
Go,
enough time.
man.
Ain't got
Go.
nowhere to go.
You've been trying to get you up here for years.
Really?
Yeah.
Teddy, knock it off.
Nah,
Like we
you
ain't
tried
had-
to get me to South Carolina to do a concert.
That was one time, but then that was
it
another
real.
conversation we had. But I've been
Right.
trying to get you up here.
Okay.
You're supposed to come with Guy.
Well, with Guy.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to.
Well, you didn't tell me that.
I didn't want to tell you that because I didn't want you to put it out there like that.
You know he would have.
I did because I didn't want to because I felt that we wasn't ready.
Right.
I don't want to go somewhere and have an embarrassment and then he asks a question and Aaron goes, well, and start
And it
doing
gets
his
nasty,
thing
right.
and going into Aaron Hall mode.
Then
I
y'all
don't
fight
want
in the
that. We're not
studio.
ready.
You
Yeah,
think they
yeah.
respond negatively
But
to
I
this
do want us
interview?
to come back because I think they're ready.
Hmm.
I think they're ready. And I think we can do this. And I'm saying this so that they can hear this.
Mhm.
Because if they can't, I got to keep it pushing.
Mm.
I'll be with Travis Scott Monday.
Mhm.
And I'm going to be with so many other people because everybody's calling. And I just say, you know what? Forget about touring. I'm going to work with everybody and their mothers again.
I saw you were with Nile Rodgers. That's my guy.
Now Rogers, everybody's calling. I did the
Mhm.
Chic record. I did the Tank and Case record. I did the Tank and Keith Sweat record. That's coming, and I'm just going back into what loves me the most.
Is it tough to
It's
be
my
a
music?
Is it tough to be a producer in 2018 because the bar is set so high for yourself? Like all these legends that you worked with, like the hits you've made.
Now, being from New York, we get a little cocky sometimes.
All
So
the
I have
time.
to say this: I'm not in no competition with anyone.
Mm.
I'm in a class by myself. Something you can't take from me is I created my own genre. So don't put nobody up against me because they would have to make a genre and they would have to be 1,000+ songs strong.
Mm.
And I'm humble about this because this is nothing but a God blessing for me. You seen my life.
Mhm.
You seen what we went through. You heard about the shootouts and all of that stuff and VA and all the stuff we went through because, of course, we're going to have haters. But I'm not here for the competition. I'm here to make music. And, I just feel like I do have my hand on what's next for R&B, and if you listen to all the artists in the new music that's out, they're going back to it.
Yes.
They're going back to real R&B. The LMA record. That record is High Five meet Keith Sweat. Make It Last Forever. But in her way. In Mustard's way. And it's amazing.
What made you close up shop in Virginia? Because, you had a huge studio down there. The first time I ever seen a plasma television was on your wall. And that's at the time when they were like 40,000 a plasma. You had a huge tour bus that every artist from every genre, pop, country, wanted to rent out.
Mm-hmm.
And this was all stationed in Virginia. And then it was just like you just closed shop.
I didn't close shop. I just took everything with me and went to Atlanta and opened up Future there. And
Why'd you leave? I know people were upset that you left. You brought a lot of business there. There was a lot of interns. You took students from the colleges and let them intern and gave them opportunities. A lot of people don't talk about that. You did a lot for that area. And when I was down there, I got to see it. I seen the Ferraris and the jewelry, and you gave Virginia encouragement.
the reason why I left is because I was hated on by the officials, not the people. I love the people. I go to Virginia. I still have a spot in Virginia where I can go and lay my head. But I would never let them know I'm there. I'll let my people know. I feel like I was used. You know what I'm saying? And people know who they are, but they don't listen. They don't listen to
They
me
didn't listen to this
here.
program.
But I was used, and a lot of the officials, basically just wanted to utilize my likeness. and not me as an official person in Virginia. So I felt like this is not the place for me. So I left. And I was also, how would I say, I was in a situation where someone, you know, shysted me, Chauncey, and a lot of people in Virginia over $50 million. I don't know if anybody's seen American Greed, but I'm on American Greed because there was a gentleman who actually basically took a lot from us. A lot of money from people, you know, retirement funds and all of that stuff. And he's in jail. He's doing about 33 years.
Congratulations to him.
And, you know, congratulations to me because I ain't get my money back.
No, I said to him.
Oh, to him. Yeah,
he got what he deserved.
How much did they get?
Huh?
How much did they take?
Well, for me, shoot, this guy was doing deeds, like deed after deed, fake deeds, and selling them to people.
Wow.
Meanwhile, I'm not making any of it because I wasn't a part of it. I never knew anything about it. And when I found out that he was doing that, I said, wow. And then I found out I lost my house because he was supposed to take care of like the deed, but he was selling my house over and over and over again. Deeds, fake deeds. And people were buying them. And then they're looking at Teddy Riley's house. That's Teddy Riley, not the guy who actually shysted them.
Mm-hmm.
It's Teddy Riley. So I had lawsuits against me. I said, you know what? I'm going to tell the truth. And Chauncey accompanied me on it because he was going through the same thing. And we wanted the story to get out about him because, you know, this is going on everywhere. You know, so that's why I left. I just said, you know what? It's time for change, you know. And I went to Atlanta. And I enjoyed it there. My mom enjoyed it. And, you know, she just was with me everywhere.
At your height, how much was you making per beat? Because we was counting your pockets before you walked in, and we was trying to figure out how much did Teddy have at one point. Because I'm sure
we were arguing between
him and Scott. Somebody said Scott Storch.
Somebody said Scott Storch. And I said Teddy Riley, in my opinion, had more hits and
I say the same
way
thing.
more than Scott Storch. And then we started naming them
Well, we
all.
know you had more hits. That's not we know that. Money-wise.
Money-wise, I gave it all away. When I left Gene, I think I left about maybe $20 to $30 million on the table because I just wanted to be away from him. Because when I found out from his right hand who left him and came back and showed me all the paperwork of monies that I really made,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know that I was getting $200,000 to $250,000 a song. Because all he did was give me $10,000 a song or
Jesus
a remix.
Christ.
Oh, my God.
Jesus Christ.
So,
And
Jesus
I
Christ.
didn't control the bank accounts.
Jesus Christ.
He controlled them all. So when I came to New York to let my crew, Guy, Abstract, Tammy Lucas, Redhead Kingpin,
mm-hmm.
Rex and Effect, everybody, I came up to New York to let them know that I have to leave Gene. He's like, what about us? I said, well, I am a partner. I can release you all from your contracts because I'm the one who gave you your deals. They were like, well, release me.
Mm-hmm.
And I released everybody. I gave everybody their releases. And I went back to Atlanta. Well, I was on my way back to Atlanta. And I was stuck at the airport with $20 in my pocket. He cut off all the credit cards and bank cards. So I couldn't get a flight to go home because I don't carry cash. I carry cards. So I was stuck at the airport, and I have to tell this story because the girl who helped me was a part of Abstract, and she saved me. Marsha McClurkin.
Mm-hmm.
And she gave me a credit card because she was a part of she was like, I think the vice president of a bank. And she gave me a platinum American Express. And I said, what are you giving me this for? This is a plastic card. What we could do with this? How much she was like, you're gonna need it. This was 8 months before I left Gene. She said, you're gonna need it. I said, what do you mean? I'm telling you, keep this card and don't lose it. And kind of made me feel like a gigolo or something. I'm like taking card money from, and that's not me.
Right.
But she said to keep it, and I kept it. And that day, I called her and I said, I think I'm going to need to stay with you at your house until I can get back to Atlanta to my family. She said, what happened? I said, well, Gene cut off all the cards and I have no money. Now, that's a time where people could say, you know, because there's been a lot of stuff. Teddy Riley broke.
Mm-hmm.
That was the time.
Mm.
I was actually broke. But the news came later.
Mm-hmm.
So when that happened, she said, you remember that card I gave you? The card you was joking. Do you have that with you? I said, I think I do. She said, look for it. I said, I found it. She said, give it to the clerk. I gave it to the clerk, and the clerk said, you have your first class seat, Mr. Rowley. That's how I got on the plane to get my family out of Atlanta. And we moved back to the projects.
Mm.
And
This is
then-
after all the hits, after all that, you move back to the projects.
Projects in Harlem?
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeesh.
First floor. And then Keith Sweat, Harvey Alston, Benny Medina, Quincy Jones, and Clarence Avon gave me a whole new life. And Jane Child, because, well, that's Jane Child, because she wanted me to remix her song. And no longer than 2 weeks, I was back rolling.
Wow.
I
And
got
where
my
is
first
Gene
job from Keith Sweat. Keith was like, yo, I'm gonna give you this remix. I'm gonna pay you $15,000. That's more than $10,000, right?
now? Wow.
I'm gonna pay you $15,000 for this. Then I get a call from Benny Medina. I get a call from Al Teller. We need you to come out to LA. So I go out to LA, Benny Medina called me. I could find you anywhere. I said, what do you mean? He said, you at the hotel. He calls me in a hotel, told me to come. I need you to remix this record. I'm in a hotel looking at the video on MTV, Don't Wanna Fall in Love, the Rockway.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, man, if I had this song, I would kill this record. That was just my mind. Even though I ain't had no money,
Mm-hmm.
I still had ideas.
You got that gift that God
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like when R. Kelly went through his court situation and he just came out with a hit. That's us all day. And Jane Child came, Benny Medina got me that job. I thought I was getting $10,000 for the remix. Benny Medina, he said, I'm gonna send a check over to you. I said, bet, cool. I had no bank account. So I'm sitting with a check, but I'm gonna tell you how I got the check. I thought it was $10,000. He called back and said, you know how much I'm paying you? I said, nah, I don't know. I'm giving you $75,000.
Yeesh.
I need this remix in 5 days. I said, you got it. I went back to New York, but I had a meeting with Al Taylor for Future Records,
Mm-hmm.
the record label. They gave me my my whole
right.
label,
Mm-hmm.
and they said, you know, who do you want to sign? I signed Rex and Effect first, and
Wow.
we did Rump Shaker. But everybody thought I was the biggest joke with coming with a rap artist first. And I said, you know what? It's what I believe in, but it was one person that gave me the confidence and confirmed that I needed to put this record out.
that?
And that's my son's mom, Madeline Nelson. When she came down, Shakim
Mm-hmm.
and Queen Latifah, they had a concert at the Coliseum. And Madeline told Shakim, I want to meet Teddy Riley. I know he's down here. And that's when she came to the studio. And she's the one that like said, when I was working on Rump Shaker, and she's the one that said, this record is done. I said, I don't even know this girl. She's telling me my record is done. I said, okay, what makes you say this record is done? She said, women like bass. Women like what you're saying. That poom poom, that's a Jamaican saying.
Yes, sir.
It's from the islands.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody, when a Jamaican record come on, everybody's dancing. Everybody's just on the floor. This record has that excitement. People are gonna think it's Jamaican, but it's a black record. And when she did that, I immediately hired her, and we was inseparable. We made so much money together, and she was the one that encouraged me to go to Jack the Rapper and showcase Rump Shaker and not worry about MCA or anybody, because we gotta control our own destination.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did. But I listened to her, and she's like, press up 500 copies and let's make some T-shirts. And we went to Jack the Rapper, and we begged the hotel to play the video in the hotels, throughout the hotels. And when they did that, everybody's like, yo, when they performing. So MCA was like, they're not performing, but I think people want to see them perform. I think I'm gonna put them on the show with Heavy D, my best friend. And they put us on the show with Heavy D. I went to Magic City, because, it's a friendly competition.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Magic City. I asked Magic, can I get 10 of your girls? It's like, you gotta pay them $200 a piece. I said, no problem. They came and did that one song with us. We did New Jack Swing first. Everybody's like, yeah, that's my record. We came with that. First people were like this. You know how,
Mm-hmm.
we just came out. They don't know who the hell we are. Rex and Effect? Yeah, we know the name, but what record you gonna play right now?
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's whack, we're gonna definitely boo you. So we played the record, and we see them like this. I was like, bring them out. Bring them out. The strippers came on the stage, and that was all she wrote. They needed the record by Friday.
Mm.
We had the convention over the weekend. I had 5 days to mix the song. I already had it mixed, but I just said, you know what? I want to do another version, and that's when I did the version from Supercat.
Mm-hmm.
And
You got to do a book, man.
He's
Cause
a-
I'm sure
you
it's
got to do a
coming.
book, and then we got to
Movie.
do the movie because
gracious.
Series.
how long we been talking to Teddy?
Over an hour.
Over an hour, and I could literally
even
know I
get
could
to
talk to
where
you
we
for
had to,
another
yeah.
hour. We ain't even
Absolutely.
talk about the Michael Jackson phone call. We ain't even get into Heavy D.
yeah, we did.
We ain't even get into Black Street. Like, it's just
I'll come back.
You
know?
gotta come
I-
back, man.
I don't
Oh,
even know.
It can't be 8 years, though. You gotta come back.
The one thing is, I get my star
on
on
the
the
Hollywood
Hollywood
Walk of Fame. Long
Walk of
overdue.
Fame.
Congratulations on that.
And
Yes.
That's a nice
I-
class right there.
I think we shared life together,
Mm-hmm.
and I really want y'all to be there as my guests.
I'd love to be
We'd
there.
love to
Hell
be
yeah.
there. Absolutely.
And I just want the people who was there before. My first interview was
Mm-mm.
Wendy Williams.
I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to be wrong. So I didn't say nothing.
I didn't want to throw her name out there.
Wendy
Yeah,
Williams
no
was my
reason.
first interview. She was my media coach.
Mhm.
She was teaching me how to interview and telling me, don't say that. If I ask you this, you don't say that. And that's how I learned how to do interviews.
Wow.
And because Gene and them hired her, they said she's the best. She came from college, and she became my mentor,
Mhm.
teaching me how to talk.
Where's Gene at now?
He passed away.
Oh, okay.
Of
Did y'all make amends before that, or
course, I buried him.
So you weren't mad at him?
I
all?
did his funeral. I was there. I spoke. I'm a forgiving child of God, man.
We can tell.
I don't have no hatred. I can't leave this earth with hatred.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that God would be like, so what did you do in my honor?
Mm.
I want to know, like, did you hate people? Because that's not a part of my commandments.
Mm.
And that's why I'm this way. Humble got me here. I'm on y'all show. I made it. So that right there is nothing but blessings.
You still get royalties and publishing and all that, right? Of course. I know that's a stupid question.
Yeah,
You think Beyonce's a better entertainer than Michael Jackson? Just on stage?
close. Very close. She's amazing.
Yeah.
But Michael, she would even say,
Mm.
Michael is the best of all times. I think everybody would say that.
Absolutely.
I guess we got it.
Yeah, we got it.
We don't have
It's gonna
to.
be hard.
I
What's
don't
coming?
even know what to do.
Do you-
man.
What's
I don't-
coming?
Mix, man.
It's
Do you
so
actually
much-
think there will be another Michael Jackson?
No, never. But I mean, every generation is supposed to be better than the bar that was set. So I think Beyonce's a better on stage performer.
Yes.
Just
You
on
think so?
stage. Just on stage.
Well, no disrespect, I've never been to a Beyonce concert. I've always seen her on stage, on TV, and I enjoyed every performance. She is amazing, but I've never seen her in concert.
Gotcha.
Most of the things have been stuff that it was planned, and,
Like
and she got 4 minutes,
Super
and
Bowl, yeah.
but I've never been to like her concert, and I really, really want to go.
See, very close. The only thing with Mike has done things on stage that the world continues to do. That was type of things, like the moonwalk. And
Like
that
he
little
did stuff
kick thing.
before.
Right, that
It
continues.
even come out,
Yeah.
Right.
you know.
I don't
and-
even think we should compare them. It's a different incarnation.
I don't think so
different
neither. But
time
I'll tell you
period.
this: Beyonce is the next Michael. She's the closest thing to Michael Jackson.
Absolutely. Well, let me ask you a question. If Chris Brown didn't get into the problems he did, would he
Yes.
have been the next Mike? Because
I still think he have that opportunity.
His stage is ridiculous.
It's
Singing
amazing.
Ridiculous.
It's amazing.
Energy is ridiculous, and he creates things that nobody else.
No question. I think he still have that opportunity.
I think so too.
Him. That's it.
That's it. That's it. That is it. Chris Brown.
Him,
That's it.
period.
Well, you're doing a
wait.
show at the Apollo.
Oh,
Yes,
man, Teddy.
coming
Oh, yeah,
up
that's it. We gotta talk about that.
December 9th. We don't have a title for it. You know, we're just kind of beating around the title, and we're talking about Teddy Riley and Keith Sweat presents Kings of New Jack Swing or Harlem Nights with a K.
Mm.
And it's with Blackstreet Guy, Kumo D, Keith Sweat, everybody from Harlem, and Ducky, the extraordinaire.
Back where it all started for
That's
you.
right.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Full circle.
people want to see that, and I wanted to do it. It's a part of my documentary. So I just said, we want to film this. We want all of our friends to come. It's the who's who, coming to enjoy New Jack Swing with us.
Yeah, it's time, Teddy, for you to tell your story while you're here.
I
to
haven't
tell
played
it.
at the Apollo in almost 20 years.
Wow.
Word.
So
Yeah, you gotta
tell your story,
man.
man.
It has to be on TV.
That's why I always celebrate you, and that's why I want to give you your flowers while you're here to
man,
smell it.
I just want to say I appreciate y'all so much because you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to speak great about me, but y'all do because, and I guess I have, like I said, I have no hatred for anybody. So anything y'all do, I watch your show a lot. Every chance that I get because I want to know what's going on, what's happening, and to me, y'all have your hands on the pulse of things that's going on. From Umar to I watch all of that stuff.
We appreciate it too.
Because I lived in Korea. I lived in Korea for 2 years.
What were you doing in Korea?
Man, I had
Don't
a
get
whole
him started on another.
I had a whole
Same
new
stuff.
life
They went
in
from
Korea.
Atlanta,
Yeah,
Vegas, Virginia, Harlem.
I'm a mover, man. I'm a mover and a shaker. I can't. I mean, now because I love Vegas and I have my hands on the pulse there. I'm gonna be doing residencies and all of that stuff there. Not just with me, but other artists. It's an open door for me.
Right.
And I like to be where I'm needed, not just wanted. So
Well, we appreciate you for joining us.
You a whole
Man.
legend, Teddy Riley. Y'all go Google Teddy
Thank y'all.
Riley.
Thank
Do more
you. Thank you.
information.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Do
right.
your own information on Teddy after this interview because it's a lot.
Absolutely. It's Teddy Riley.
And
It's
the
the
story
breakfast-
is coming. The story is coming.
All right.
I can't wait for y'all to see it.
Okay. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Teddy Riley.